All right, guys, welcome to another video. And I was just watching the last episode of Suits right now, like the latest season, wherever it ended, and I was kind of putting this video off, hoping that I would basically give you everything in one video once I am prepared with my own SOP. But the truth is, I'm never really satisfied with it. I mean, I am finished with one draft of it, but let's just say that there's just no reason to be satisfied with it. So maybe the last episode gave me some impetus to start this video and just give you guys one video. And if I have something else for you, I thought I would definitely create another video for that. But mainly all that I've learned, and trust me guys, I've learned so much. I've been researching so much. I've been talking to professors. I've been checking out different websites of professors where some of them just note down, like what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I've noted everything down, and I want to tell you guys everything, each one of the points basically. So you're not gonna miss out on anything. All right. But I just want to tell you guys first that this is going to be a little long video because there's just a whole lot to cover around here. And I mean, I could talk about this for 2 or 3 hours easily. The statement of purpose is one of the most important parts of your application process, and basically, you do not want to go wrong with this. And some people do kind of don't have time and they just throw it out the window, but I suggest that you spend at least 2 or 3 weeks on this thing, because this is something that can really get you into one of the topmost schools, or it can do wonders. Really, it can get you scholarships, it can get you research assistantships, something like that. So just focus on this video a little, with attention. Note down the points if you feel like, but you'll always have the video again. So anyway, let's begin with it. Okay. First is, why is the SOP so important? Because I'll give you 4 points, all right? First is the most important part, because this is the only part of your application where you're like, able to directly communicate with the admissions committee. And trust me, that is important. So the thing is that if you see your whole application, I mean, there's a huge application portal for whichever university you're applying to. It's going to take your grades, your ETS registration number, your, everything. They're going to take basically all the documents, all the answers to their questions. There's going to be like a huge form. You're going to spend like one day on each university's form, probably. I'm not even kidding. It's huge. And while there are some other questions on that form, this is the exact part where they have some, description of how to write the SOP, like what to include in it, what to not include in it. But at the same time, this is the only part where you can include everything you want to include, right? There might be something that you want the admissions committee to know while they're assessing your profile. Well, this is the place to mention it, right? So this is just one thing, and that is, basically your SOP is the only place where you can directly communicate with the professors, with the university people who are on the admissions committee. And if you don't realize how big of a chance that is, you need to start thinking about it. All right. Secondly, the second thing is that it's your only chance to kind of, explain or conciliate for, well, your previous wrongs. Maybe you belong to a different field. Maybe you're applying to CS, but you're from a mechanical background. You need to explain how you kind of, got into this realm of science and computer science, and how you basically started enjoying it much more than your own field. And that is not something that is easily done, because that admissions committee, they're not stupid people. They're listening to responses from, people all over the world. People all over the world send out applications to their colleges, and some of them, admit it, they might have better reasons than you do. But you don't need to have the best reason. You just have to have some reason that is really, true to yourself, true to your heart. Like, think about it really, why you are choosing that field, and go with it. Because if you're telling them the truth, chances are they will understand your side of things a lot better than if you're fabricating things or fabricating evidence, really. All right. This even applies if you are kind of, you have a bad CGPA, you have a bad GRE score. Well, this is the time to explain it. All right. I'm sure you can you have something that happened in your life, maybe because of which you couldn't score well. Maybe you weren't interested in those subjects, something like that. You just tell them how it affected you, and basically how you kind of improved yourself over that time, right? Like how maybe one failure could have led to your improving of your whole overall whole overall curriculum, your academics, your co-curricular activities, something, there can be something to make up for it. Try to include that. All right. Next is, you got to be yourself in this application, right? Because a lot of people are trying to read up the statement of purpose of other people's who have applied. My suggestion is, don't read them a lot, at least not a lot. Read two or three of them. Personally, I read like two or three, and I just left it because God, they were awful. Some of them were really awful. But there are a few good ones out there. But again, even if you are reading them, you would feel like including things from that statement of purpose. Man, this thing is really good. His paragraph is really good. Maybe I should just change the wordings a little bit. Well, don't do that. You got to be yourself on your application. If you're trying to be like someone else, well, the university people, the admissions committee, they are used to seeing thousands of applications. You won't realize how easy it is for them to just throw out an application into the rejects pile, because that person is concocting to be someone else, and that is not someone you want. That is not something you want, right? So let's keep it at that. Be yourself. And finally, explain why the university is a good fit for you. These are some of the things that you have to include. Let's get to this point later. Let's talk about how you should structure your SOP. Okay, how you should structure it. I'm going to tell you paragraph by paragraph what you have to do, what you should include. Feel free to change the order of these paragraphs. It doesn't have to be the same, but take note of all of the information that I'm telling you that you should include. All right, because these are the most important factors that you should include. And trust me, guys, your SOP, the length for it may be different for different universities. Like some might allow 1.5 pages, say, some might allow 2 pages, maybe more. Some might even want you to just shorten it within the first 1,000 words, and that's hard at times, because once you write down all of these things that I'm going to tell you about, it's going to be well over 1,500 to 2,000 words. So I'm sure you can, try to basically succinctly mention everything that you've done, and all these points. Try to mention them as succinctly as possible, because the university will like it. The admissions committee will definitely like it if you can, shorten up your statement of purpose and still convey the same amount of information, because those people are reading thousands of applications, and when they read another one and they see that, or right, it's 2 or 3 pages long, they don't want to pay all that attention to it, right? So they try to kind of just skim through it. You don't want them to skim through it, right? So, and that's what exactly brings us on our first point. Start with a catchy or a picky line. All right, doesn't have to be a line. It can really be an anecdote. Anecdote is just kind of a story, it can also be like, it could be a lot of things, like, yeah, analogy, a fact, whatever it is that you want to go with. Starts with something that is kind of meaningful, but at the same time it is picky. Just picks their attention, blows their mind. They want to read the first paragraph at least, and then if you can maintain the flow from there, they will read your whole application, your whole statement of purpose properly, right? So start with something like that. Okay, but make sure it is pertinent to your situation. Make sure it is pertinent to your application. Don't just include something that is going to take up space and it is not worthy, because, well, it's just taking up space, and they're having to read more and more to get to the main meaty part. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to annoy the committee. All right. Okay, then what you can do is you can explain how your undergraduate education has been kind of like, a catalyst in this whole journey, how it will benefit you. So, how undergraduate, this is for postgraduates mostly. I believe that's what most of my audience is. If you're an undergraduate, you can still, just bring it back, how your school life has affected your, decision to pursue undergraduate in that university. So, how your undergraduate has affected your decision to potentially study in that university. Okay. Now, you might have a lot of reasons why you want to go to your university, but still show them, that my undergraduate education, even if it is from a different field, but prepares me for my postgraduate education in some way or the other. Find a connection, show it to them, and they'll be really happy. Okay. All right, let's pick another one. Then you wanna tell them why you wanna go to grad school. Now, again, you want to make sure that they know that why exactly it is that you're coming over there, right? So it might not just be because of your undergraduate education. It might be because of some other reasons. Maybe you've been practicing, something that will help you in the postgraduate education. Maybe you need postgraduate education because of some reason. Your masters can help you achieve whatever goal it is that you have. Well, if there's something like that, mention it. Take one whole paragraph and, mention it in as succinct a way as you can. Okay, great. Once we're through with that, you want to make sure that you're mentioning all that you have done within these past, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. Like mention your internships, your projects, your research, all of this. This is very important because they need to know that you have done something that will, you know, help the university as well. So your internships, your projects, your research papers, anything that you have out of these, I'm sure most people will have projects at least. If you don't, God help you. But you need to have something uh, that you want to show to the university that, yeah, this is something I've done. You can see this is the kind of work I'm capable of doing. And these are the difficulties I faced. This is how I overcame them, something like that. And whatever you are, giving it to uh, the university people will like it, I'm sure. If you are, if it is pertinent to your program, the one in which you are applying, and at the same time if it is something credible and valuable, right? Okay, well, after that, what you can do is you can mention your performance. How is your performance in class? What is your rank? Are you the rank 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 50, whatever? And justify it. Kind of try to, show why you have that rank, if it is not in the top three at least, you know. Try to justify it, try to give reasons to why you got a lower rank in most cases if people have a lower rank, just justify give some reasons why you think you couldn't make it to the top five or top three, something like that. It doesn't have to be something so simple, like, don't say something like, I didn't want to study these subjects. Don't say that, please don't, because or don't say something like, I'm not good with academics, I'm just good with projects, so please take a look at my projects. No, don't do that, because the university, well, a lot of it weighs on how much CGPA those people are going to get when they go over there and study over there. So if you're someone who is going to go over there and repeat the same kind of a pattern and just, do projects, but at the same time your academic performance won't hold up, well, they're going to tell you that, you're rejected because, well, you just can't perform well on the academics part. And if you cannot do anything, justify it, but don't say that, I didn't like these subjects. But why did you opt for this degree in the first place if you didn't like these subjects? Either you have something to explain, but still, try to avoid this line that I kind of, don't like these subjects. I'm not good at academics. Don't do that to yourself, please. That's the worst kind of a mistake you will make. Okay, great. Let's get to the next part. Well, that's for your extracurriculars. So you can have a lot of extracurriculars and you can have a lot of social activities. Try to include them. Okay. If you've done anything, if you have been teaching kids in slums, if you have been, donating blood, if you've been doing anything that is in any form of a social activity, try to mention it. It's going to look good on your SOP, because there's no other place that you can mention it on on the application. At least if there isn't, definitely mention it. If there is, maybe try to just crop this paragraph from the statement of purpose and paste it. Sometimes the applications have, many kind of questionnaires. So just because of that, I'm saying that. But most of the times it won't. So try to include all of these things. Try to include your extracurriculars. What have you been doing? But don't include something like, I go to the gym, I kind of read books, whatever. Don't include something that's not going to help you in your course. Yeah, sure, if you're applying for a linguistics course, definitely you can tell them that you're kind of, into all of these linguistics books, whatever. But Don't tell them that you like to gym, you like to lift, you like to play badminton, because that is not bringing value to the university. It's just taking up space on your application. And like I said, this thing is going to be so huge by the end you're done with it, that you're going to try to reduce the space. At least in my case, I was trying to struggling with which points I should include and which I shouldn't. But at the same time, when I really thought about it, is this thing really going to help my application? Is this thing really going to, communicate to the admissions committee why they should, you know, uh, put my applications on the admits file? Well, as soon as I asked myself that question, it was clear to me that yeah, this thing needs to be on here and this thing doesn't. So try to do the same thing. Okay, extracurriculars, include them, but as long as they are relevant to your, you know, application, as long as they're relevant to your program. There might be something like people might enjoy, I don't know, science camps or something, hosting them, or maybe hosting hackathons and, something like that. So if you have something like that, definitely you have something to show for, and definitely try to include that in there. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is the most important. This is university research and why that university. So you want to show them that this is the university for you. And trust me, guys, if you're applying with half a heart, half a mind, whatever, you don't know why you're applying to that university. Please don't mention that I'm applying to this university because US News rated it to be the number third university, number second university. That's not gonna make the admissions committee want to put you on the accepts file. Trust me. Mention actual reasons. Research their professors. Check out their research groups. See what you can find. If there's something that is anywhere on any ground, matching with your interests, show them that yeah, you can potentially work with these professors, and you know tell them about the things that you know about the university from your seniors, that yeah, this is something I know about, and I'm really excited because of that, and this thing doesn't exist in all the other universities. If you have something like that on your application, it shows the university people, shows the admissions committee that you are really ready to come to their school because you've done research about their school and you actually care about it, right? You actually care enough to go to their website and read all of it. And basically, the harder you work for this section, the better it is. So this section should vary at least in every statement of purpose you write. Definitely it should. Okay, great. And the last part is conclude. um, well, there's a lot of things you can say while concluding. If you have something, definitely go for it. But I think the seventh paragraph is just good enough to, conclude in itself. If you still have something left to say about your application, definitely try to conclude with that. I would not recommend asking for scholarships in your statement of purpose, by the way. Don't do that, because I actually researched about it a lot, actually, like I was kind of gonna include it in my own SOP, but then I kind of checked it out on various websites of professors, answers on Quora, I don't know, a whole lot of places. But at the end, the thing is that giving you an admit is already a huge thing for university if they're giving you an admit. So when you're having such a huge ask, you're asking them to basically give you an admit, keep you on the admits pile. But at the same time, if you're asking them, dude, you know what, I really want to come to your institute, but at the same time, I don't really have a lot of funds. I may be able to afford like half the tuition fee, so could you just take off that 50%? Well, that's gonna get your application from the accepts file into the rejects file. This is something you want to do later on with the professors. Maybe once you get an admit, contact them, check if they have a space in their research group, or once you get to the university, definitely you can do that. But don't try to include it in here. At least from my angle, I wouldn't say that you should. All right, someone might have different views altogether. Definitely, I respect their views, but I really think that this is from my personal research. Don't try to include it. It's not gonna do something very good for you. Okay. So again, guys, like I said, there might be a lot of other things about your SOP that I might not be able to mention in here because these are the points that I've gathered till now. There are a few other points that I would like to mention. I would make a separate video for those. It's not about the structuring. It's about the presentation of your SOP. Things like that. a lot of things matter over here, so kind of gonna go through it step by step. But this is just one major video that I've been trying to make in a long time. Again, if you want to see my own journey about going through the applications process, I'm posting it all on Instagram. You can go and follow me on Instagram. If you would like to contact me personally, ask me for help or something, people contact me every day. Feel free to do that, and I would love to answer your questions. But please do not WhatsApp me, or at least just go to my Instagram and send me a direct message. I will reply as soon as I am free. Sometimes I'm not. It takes a day or two, but I always reply whenever I get a text on Instagram. So, all right, anything I can help you with, please get in touch with me on Instagram. See my whole journey over there. And if there's anything that I forgot to include in this video, please comment down below, and I will make another video for that or something. Okay. So I hope this video helped you guys. This is all you need, really. Trust me, if you can, you know, write it properly. Don't go to consultancies. I wouldn't recommend doing that. They are just gonna eat up your money. They're not gonna be giving you anything valuable. No one can write your statement of purpose with that level of accuracy. Even if they say that they are gonna just write it and they are gonna take inputs from you and then they're just gonna give it to you based on those inputs, and maybe you can still edit that. Don't do that, because, well, let me tell you, because the thing is that they are not having your best interest at heart. They just want your money. They won't write this document like you can. I would never go to someone with something this important, because this can actually make sure that I get into some huge university. But at the same time, if I mess this up, it can also mean that the only chance I had at getting into that university is kind of fumbled. So don't go to them. Actually write it you know completely on your own. Have it reviewed if you like. Go to your English teacher or something. Have it reviewed from them. I'm sure you might have someone in college, someone from personal life. But really, trust me, guys, in the long run, it's not going to do you any good if you're going to consultants right now, because they don't have your best interest at heart. This is the truth. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this video with just that. Again, if you'd like to contact me, feel free to do so, and I'll see you in the next video.